Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. How's everybody doing today? It's kind of cloudy in Simcoe today, but at least it stopped raining for a day or two. So we have, I have my copies of the new catalogues and I'll get them all to you as soon as I can. Hopefully this week, it'll probably be one day this week. I'm going to use a couple of things out of the new catalogue and some out of the old, the annual catalogue. But I'll just show you what we're going to make first of all. This is the card we're going to make. It's colour did I use here? Evening Evergreen and vellum, and I used the this set of embossing folders. They come 2 in a pack. You can see one is Snowflakes and the other is pine boughs, but you can put them together and they work quite nicely. You get 2 in a pack. They're 3D, so they're a little thicker than the normal folders, but they work quite nicely. And if you look at the card, the card I made, you can see that I've used the snowflakes on the top and the pine boughs on the bottom. How did I do that, you're wondering? Let me show you. Okay, so we're going to have to bring in, I'm going to turn the camera down first so I can get it positioned, and then we are going to bring in the big shot. No, it's not called a big shot anymore, it's called a stamp and emboss. Stamp and cut and emboss. Okay, give me just a second. Let's see what I'm doing. Oh, here it is. So we're going to use, I made the first one in Evening Evergreen. I'm going to try Real Red now, just to see, to show you the difference in the cards. Okay, let me see what is not straight. That's straight, so that's not straight. There we go. There, okay. Now, what have I got there, my mouse? I have to use the big cut and emboss machine because, as you will see, when I put the vellum in, it's going to be too wide to use the tiny little cut and emboss machine. Okay, so because we're going to emboss with a 3D folder, we're going to look at the board here that comes with the cutting machine, and it tells me here for embossing, where am I? Here I am. For embossing, I'm going to use, let me see, 3D embossing, I was right the first place. Plate number 1 and plate number 4. Alright, number 4 is this grey plate, and they all have a number in the corner that you can, so you can get the plates in the right order and on the right machine. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the vellum, I'm going to put it into, we're going to make sure the Stampin' Up sign is on the top, okay? But we'll keep the folders both embossing in the same direction. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And I'm going to put that, how do I want it to go? I want it to go this way. Do I? Wait a minute. I'm going that way because it's on the bottom. So I want it to, I'm putting it in the folder on an angle, just like that. You can see the vellum is sticking out at the side here. Alright, and I'm going to run it through the embossing machine, and that's the reason you need to use the big stamp and emboss machine, because the paper sticks out too far at the side, so it's too wide for the little stamp and emboss. And I'm just running it through there. Okay, so that will just run through once. Right. Take it out of the embossing folder. Now you can see how nicely that has embossed on the bottom half of the card. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the snowflake folder and put the rest of the vellum in the snowflake folder, and it's not going to matter if you overlap a little bit because there's going to be a strip goes down the middle of the card. Okay, so I'm going to put that in like this, making sure I've got the Stampin' Up logo on the top so that I know that all my embossing is going the same way. Alright, And you know these new Stampin' Emboss machines work better if you stagger your plates as they're coming through. Don't have them lined right up. I've only got mine staggered by about 1/4 of an inch, but it's all you need so that it doesn't go into the rollers like as a block. It goes in, it's sort of staggered on an angle like that. So okay, so there's my piece of vellum embossed, and we've got snowflakes on one side and pine leaves on the other. And we'll get started on making the card. Okie dokie. So I've got a piece of real red, 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5. Is that right? 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Yes, standard size card, and it's going to be a top fold card. There. Okay, and we've got this lovely embossed piece of vellum that we've just done, and we're going to just pop it on the top like that. Now, with vellum, you think you always think you can see the adhesive through the vellum, but a little trick to take away your eye from the adhesive is if you use your what is this called? It's the mat you use for glue, that so that it doesn't stick to it. Can't think of the name. Somebody will think of the name for me. Anyway, I'm going to put my vellum face down on there, and I'm going to take my adhesive roller. Just going to turn this so I can get a good grip on it, okay? And I'm going to run the roller down right around all 4 sides, coming just off the edge of the vellum, okay? There. And the reason I'm doing this is because the vellum warps such a lot when it's embossed. So I'm trying to get as much adhesive on the vellum as I can, but not so that you'll notice it. You see where the line is across the middle, where we've embossed the one folder and the other right there? I'm going to also run a line of adhesive right down there. Nobody's going to see that, it's going to be covered up. So now let's move this out of the way. There's the card. I don't know what that is on my screen, not going to worry. And make sure I've got my card opening the right way, and I do. Come on in. I'm going to put that. And always peel it off with vellum. I'm going to turn the card upside down because it's really wrinkly on that side. There. And when you press it down, you really can't see the lines where the adhesive is. You've also got a good solid edge where the edge of your vellum is glued all the way around, and if you feel a little bit of glue, you can just wipe it off with your fingers. It'll just roll right off if you go like that. You can actually see, I don't know if you can see, a little bit of glue coming off there. There. So that's the basis of your card. You can also see the vellum going across here on the lighter part, but sorry, the adhesive going across on the lighter part. Doesn't matter, it's going to be covered up. Alright, so we're going to take, oh, we've got a strip here. Got a strip of real red, and we're going to put it across the middle like this. Now you could use ribbon if you wanted to, or a different colour cardstock if you want to. I'm just keeping mine simple. These are monochrome cards. There's only one colour on them, okay? And I'm gonna is this gonna work? Yes. Right down there, right down there, and give them a little extra so I can make sure I've got enough to go right across the card. Like of that. And then I'm going to open the card, take my scissors and trim the excess. And the reason I've opened the card is so that I can see where the edge of the card is, and I'm not cutting into the card, you know, without being able to see it. I'll just throw that to get it out of the way. So I'm just going to give it a little press from the back. Get rid of any excess glue that happened to pick up. There. So there we have the front of the card done. Scissors. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some stamping now. We're going to stamp a sentiment. We've got the stamp set I'm using is the Merry Snowflakes stamp set. There, it's a lovely stamp set. It's in the new mini catalogue that goes live on August the 1st. It's got some lovely sentiments and lovely snowflakes with it. And let me just see if I can prop that up some more so it's not glaring at you. There, and it has lovely dies with it too. It has some embossing dies, it has dies that cut snowflakes out. There's actually 2 sets of dies in there, but we are not going to use those today. We're just going to use the I'm going to use actually a different I'm going to use the stitched nested labels to cut around my sentiment. Okay, I'm keeping these cards very simple. So out of the stamp set we have the Season's Greetings stamp, and there's also a nice stamp for the inside that says, "May your days be merry and bright and all your Christmases be white." How appropriate for Christmas. We have somewhere a real red stamp pad. Here it is. Move that. Paper in, and line my paper up against a line on here so it looks, whoops, that's the wrong piece. Is that going to fit on there? No. Do I have a big enough piece? I might do. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. There's no red on my fingers. And that's my sentiment for the front of the card. Very quick wipe because it's red. You know how red stains everything. Even my fingers. For the inside, line up the inside. Lovely. Okay, we'll just set those out of the way. Put the ink out of the way. Clean off my hands a little bit. Not going to help. Okay, and we're going to use the stitched nested labels. Oops. I'm going to try and pick out one that fits the sentiment and then one to line it. Does that go? Not quite. Okay, so that is, let me see, that's that size. I'm going to have to go that size. Oh, that's too big. Don't want that. Let's see what we can do with this. I think we can just squeeze it in there if we're careful. Alright, so we'll pull up the little mini cut and emboss and see what we can do. Now, because I'm tight on cardstock here and I don't want this to move, I am going to put this down flat on my table, line up the die. What can I do here? That's just not going to work. What's the next one? first one's huge, and I don't think I'll get it all on the paper. Well, we'll try it. So what we're going to do, because we don't want this to move, we're going to tape the die down in a couple of spots where it won't lift the ink off the paper if it gets caught on the way out. There. There. And we need some plates. Look. What have I got here? So for the mini cut and emboss, it says to cut out dies we need baits 1 and 2 of number 2. And you see, by taping this down, I can pick this up off my table and it's not going to move. It's going to be great. It's not going to move. Put it in the cutter. Stagger the plates again. Remember to stagger your plates. There. Let me just put that there in case we decide to do. So this is the card we have, and we can put that on there just like that, or we could back it on a piece of red maybe. You know what, let's cut it out. If we don't like it, we don't have to use it. Run it through and see what we get. If we don't like it, we don't have to use it. Plate, pull it back just a hair. There. Throw that out of the way, put that back there. We'll clean that up in a minute. Let's just put it over here out of the way. Finishing up the card, we could put that on there like that, and that on there like that, and actually I think I do like that. It makes it's nice. Okay, let's do that. Let's put some adhesive on this. I forget these dies don't line up very well. That'll do. See, they're a bit wider at the sides than they are on the top, but it is what it is. So then we can pop this up on dimensionals. I think we will, if we can find any. So now the dimensionals for this I'm going to put right across the middle so that the greeting will so that this will stick to this piece. All right, let me just lie that down. Got about a ½ inch from each side. Okay, one there, one there. Now they theoretically shouldn't show. Go just like that, and I have some holiday rhinestone jewels. Now these I don't think are current anymore, but I just thought I needed a little something to spice this card up a little bit. Let's just make sure that's down. That's down. Pokey tool. What do we think? Do we think we like those red ones? Let's just pop them on. Oops. Yeah, that's kind of nice. One more, I think. Where are we going to put that? Here? No, let's just pop it on here and there. There. So there we have that with just 2 or 3 little gems on, just in the middle of the snowflakes there. And we'll just pop this piece in the middle. There. So there you have it. There's your finished card for today. So that is real red. Let me see. And we used holiday rhinestones and stitched nested labels. What else do I have? I have the green, evening evergreen, and for that I used Tasteful Labels dies, and it's got some little pearls on the top here. I'm not sure you can see them in the snowflakes. They're iridescent pearls, or I think they're called opal rounds. So that's that one, but I still think my favorite is going to be the smoky slate. I like the smoky slate. I think the vellum really showed up nicely on there, and on that I used pastel pearls. So we have red, we have evening evergreen. I'll move them in, move them this way. Evening evergreen, real red, and smoky slate. There you are. 3 beautiful cards. Took less than half an hour to make. As always, you know, there's my card. Copy it if you want to, case it if you want to, use it, sell it. If you're going to sell it, please put the Stampin' Up angel stamp on, which just says, you know, copyright Stampin' Up. That's all it needs to say. You can also put your own logo and things on it, but please be fair and say, you know, Stampin' Up supplies were used. Okay, I am going to go. I'll leave you, and I will post these on my website as soon as I can, and I will end the video right now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can use these cards. Bye.